be really annoying if I'm not. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my beautiful friend and surrogate Liv, and we are going to answer some of your questions. We had quite a few sent through on my last video. Melbourne is currently in lockdown, but thankfully for us we are just outside the zone of lockdown, so we are able to film this video. For now we're just trying to make the most before things change for the minute, yeah. So first question is, did Liv suffer from any infertility as well?
So, no, I didn't, in short. I fell pregnant in December 2012 and we had a miscarriage in January at about 7 weeks, and there were no complications, and then we found out we were expecting spontaneously, would you say, or randomly. Yeah. We were expecting twins. They don't run in our family, and yeah, we had them in
identical
twin girls in November. Yeah. They were born early, but other than that, no complications.
How were your own pregnancies with your biological children in regards to health, morning sickness, etc.?
So pregnancy wasn't easy in terms of morning sickness. Twins first time off obviously were high risk. So any plans that we had on, you know, when you first fall pregnant, you kind of have all these ideas that you want a birth plan, you want all this kind of stuff, you start looking into it, and automatically that was all kind of out the window. And we had a scare at 24 weeks. I had a little bit of bleeding, and then that was all fine. But then, yeah, spontaneous labour. My waters just broke at 30 weeks plus 3 days. The girls were delivered that day. They were fine, except needed to feed and grow. We're in hospital for 7 weeks. And then when the girls were about 6 months old, we found out we were expecting again. That pregnancy was all a bit of a blur, because looking after twins plus
sleep deprived,
being pregnant, I do remember the morning sickness with my son lasting longer.
Did it?
Yeah, it didn't end until about 16 weeks. But the
That's
girls,
interesting.
It kind of faded away about 13, 14 weeks.
So you think the twins would just make you feel sicker for longer?
Yeah, no. I don't know whether that was just because I was so tired all the time anyway, and it was exasperated. I don't know. Zave's pregnancy went along fairly smoothly. He kind of stopped growing at about 31, 32 weeks. His growth slowed, rather. And
so he was still growing.
He was still growing, but he wasn't hitting all those bigger growth targets. So I was monitored pretty well with my OB, and at 37 weeks exactly, he decided to induce me. Gave me a stretch and sweep, and then the next day I came in for the induction, and yeah, he was born in the end via emergency C-section, which was a little different to the girl. Well, was a big difference to the girls, which were born, I say vaginally because natural sounds weird as opposed to like cesarean is unnatural. I don't know. And yeah, recovery from that was pretty textbook.
And he was born at 37 weeks?
37 weeks exactly.
Yeah. So he was classified as full term?
Yeah, he's classified as full term. Yeah. So this next pregnancy we have seen an OB just to make sure that the monitoring is in place. And
he specialises in all of those kind of high risk scenarios?
Just in case.
Yeah. Would you want more children of your own later?
No.
Quick answer.
Yeah, no. So my husband has had a vasectomy. We did talk about having my tubes tied as well, but he decided that he would rather go.
It's easier for them, isn't it?
It's easier for men, and besides we've done so much. Women do so much, like really.
It's the least they can do.
No, we're definitely at a point where our family feels complete. We felt that pretty much immediately after Zave was born. He completed, we felt done, and after going through 3 kids so close together, we like the time we're at now.
Yeah.
I do love babies, but I just don't want any more.
Practically, like, yeah, you've had triplets, pretty much.
Yeah, so I just, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, fair enough. How did you meet us? Us. So we built our houses on the same street about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's how we met. So we just became really close. Always seeing each other, going around for dinner, and
yeah, it was everyone built.
It was a new estate.
New estate, yeah. So everyone kind of staggered built, but we're all in similar life stages of either newly married or looking to start families or long-term relationships, and so hardly anyone had a fence. I think we were the only ones with
there
fences.
were no fences, so it was easy.
So yeah, it was just a pretty nice little community we formed.
Yeah. Liv, have you always wanted to be a surrogate, or is this something you decided after meeting Celeste and hearing her journey? I've been considering being a surrogate sometime in the future. I just think it's beautiful. Wishing you and your families the best for the coming transfer. Thank you.
Yeah, so no, I didn't always want to become a surrogate. It was something Luke and I talked about before we even started our own family, only because we had talked about a family member maybe needing it. We were unsure. In the end they didn't, which is great. Us becoming friends and getting married at a similar time and starting families, we kind of went along that journey with you guys. And then when we felt our family was complete, Luke and I talked about it. He was actually the first one to bring it up. He said, had you ever thought about it? And I said, I was actually thinking about it, but we hadn't spoken about it yet.
So incredible we were both thinking about it at the same time.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
So we were both, but I didn't want to offer it because I was like, well, it's a bit
sensitive.
Random sometimes of something to just randomly offer someone. But we made the offer just in case it was ever needed. Not that it was at that time. And you guys still had heaps of options to try. Well, you weren't there. And still all those years later the offer was still there.
Which again is incredible, because you did offer for the first time in, was it 2016? It was a few years ago.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, and then
we went on to have, I think, maybe 4 more miscarriages. And trying other things, and just reached a point where we were done going round in circles. We felt like we were just constantly chasing our tails and not getting anywhere. So amazingly your offer still stood.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
I know, but it's, life happens and things change, but
it does. But I think, I don't know, I feel like now is right.
Yeah.
The kids are all excited. We're excited. It's and I like the age the kids are at now, where they kind of get it a bit more.
Liv, were you the first to mention surrogacy to your husband? If so, what was his initial reaction, and how did it come about? So you just kind of touched on that.
We kind of almost came to the same offer, I suppose you would call it, at the same time. And we were both on the same page. He was happy for me to do it, but he wanted to make sure I was comfortable with it. I was happy to do it, but we did have a lot of open and honest conversations with you guys as well, about just everything.
Well, there's a lot to discuss, isn't there?
Just
a lot to think about, and
everyone's honesty, and the fact that you've got to respect each other's space when you need it, and a mental capacity as well. It's it's a lot to consider, but we're all on the same page that we can take space when we need it. We just need to say.
It's all about communication. How do the hormones and shots make Liv feel physically and emotionally?
So the hormones were very different. I feel like, I don't know, when somebody first says IVF, you think, you've just got to take a few injections and, track your cycle and all this kind of stuff and do a transfer. It doesn't sound very taxing. And then when you go through it,
it's a whole other story.
It's a whole other story. Not that I have been through many treatments or many, hormones or anything like that anywhere near to what you have, but the injections did make me feel very bloated, tired, and just those general early pregnancy symptoms, which made it tricky to kind of navigate because you don't know if it's the artificial symptoms you're feeling or if they're natural symptoms, or it's a bit of a mind play.
Yeah. So the injection was the Pregnyl, which is the HCG pregnancy hormone. So it mimics all of those pregnant symptoms, and you were feeling them in between transfer and testing.
Yeah, testing.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
A real mind bender.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster.
How did Liv cope with the failed transfer? We have just had another IVF transfer fail, and surrogacy is now one of the options we are looking into, but I'm struggling with the thought my friend may have to deal with potential bad news. I would hate for someone I care about to feel guilty, especially when we know it's no one's fault. So I got this question a few times. There are a lot of people asking, how are you feeling?
How am I?
It was just about me, sharing, because you weren't sharing, obviously. Yeah. And that was something I really struggled with, is worrying that you're feeling negative things, or that you're thinking that, I should have done this, I should have done that, or...
Yeah, I would be lying if I said those thoughts didn't cross my mind, and I think it's normal for them to cross your mind. You can't help but think, oh, maybe I bent down awkwardly and made a random movement, or your mind kind of spirals into all these excuses.
Even after an embryo transfer, you don't want to even pee, because you don't want to go to the toilet because
confirm
you're
with
worried.
the nurse, and even she said during the scan, she goes, your bladder's really full, and I'm like, yeah, I know. And then, I was like, it's okay, isn't it? And she goes, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's a totally different area of the body. So
yeah,
it's not logical,
but your brain still wants to tell you, you don't do this, don't do anything,
just don't move.
Just don't move. I felt very flat after it failed. I think we were all cautiously optimistic. And I know Luke and I definitely felt like you guys have had such a bad run of luck that we, us coming into the equation, surely we would have a really positive result first time around, and then
everything seemed to align so nicely. And
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But I
think it took us all a bit
by
surprise. Even though we knew it wasn't a guarantee, I think it was just, hard to process.
It was.
And then with coronavirus on top of that, we weren't able to really see each other as much as we would have ordinarily, I feel like.
Yeah, no. And it wasn't the way any of us had envisaged.
No. I mean, Liv had to do the transfer on her own.
Yeah, and it would, we
would have all been there, ideally.
And we would have made a trip out of it, or, made a morning out of it at least. And no, it wasn't. It was very, call up before your appointment, run in, run out type thing. But after the bloating and all the rest of that subsided, I think we always took a bit of time. And
yeah. What do you both do in the moments where you get overwhelmed? How do you calm down? Gosh, I love Friends. I watch a lot of Friends whenever I need cheering up. It always helps. I've been trying to get out more, out into nature and going on walks and things. I would like to have done more exercise than I have been doing, and more healthy things for myself, I guess. I don't think I've been looking after myself as well as I should have been, but I don't know. Yeah, I think there's just been a lot going on in the last few months. Well, the last year.
I was going to say
last 2 years. The last 6 years. So I went into a bit of a, shut down, coping, kind of switch off from everything mode, which isn't the healthiest, but it is what it is.
That. You kind of need to just become a bit of a hermit sometimes. And
I mean, seeing friends always helps lift my spirits as well, and that hasn't been as possible as usual. So yeah, I don't know. I do little bits and pieces that make me happy, and
your book's been keeping you busy as well.
My book has been, that's been a great distraction actually. Yeah. That's been really good. Kept me going. Yeah.
So I do a lot of crafty things. I've come into them since having kids.
You didn't do it before?
No. No.
No crafts?
No.
Really?
No, I had no hobbies before kids.
Oh.
I always made the excuse I was afraid of getting a big stash of stuff and hoarding a bunch of stuff, which I do now.
Which happened.
But I really enjoyed it. So stitching. So I have a subscription to CraftPod, which is really good. They send me this little box of stitching goodies each season,
lovely.
so that's nice. And yeah, crochet, quilting, and watching Frasier, which is my go-to.
Which I still need to watch because I've never watched it before.
It's just light and
yeah,
I love
finding a good TV show. Yeah, that's also another thing that's been just Netflix binges.
Yes.
Just finding a good series, and yeah, I need to have more baths as well. Tim's he loves a bath.
Yeah, I love a bath.
You do too?
Yes, love a bath.
Yeah,
Salts,
I need to do that
bath
more.
bombs and all that kind of stuff, and oils.
Lush,
and
do you get Lush?
as a treat.
Only as a treat.
Yeah.
Does your clinic require PGS testing for gestational surrogate transfers, or is this something you decided yourselves? So they don't require it because surrogacy transfers are so expensive here. I'm sure everywhere probably, but there are no Medicare rebates on surrogacy transfers. So we just wanted to make sure we were transferring a chromosomally normal embryo just to increase our chances of success, I guess, and hopefully limit the number of transfers we had to do, and also put you through. So, because being on the drugs, and you want to try and make it happen as quickly as possible, especially at this point in our journey. How did you find the legal paperwork process of surrogacy?
Well, I found it okay.
It wasn't too bad.
They did do telephone appointments, which was very handy, because then we didn't physically need to go in. I think it was more the counselling and those appointments that were a bit trickier to schedule for us all to go in. The legal stuff was pretty self-explanatory. I don't know how you guys found it, but we found it pretty simple.
It was a quick phone call. Yeah,
it wasn't overly in-depth. It was more the counselling sessions that we had to go through that were more thorough and
I think the police check, having to do that again, was not fun for me. Just because it's, they're getting rid of the police checks.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was one of the most bizarre things. When
It's
you
just
said you
kind
have
of
to get a
insulting.
police
It's like another
check.
thing.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, for IVF here you have to.
Yeah.
And then surrogacy you have to again, and it's obviously an extra cost, and I'd already paid for it, and it was just like, it's just, drug addicts can have babies and
kids.
They
Why
don't need a police
yeah.
check. Or, I mean, no offense to drug addicts.
No,
didn't really come across well, but
no.
I don't know. It was just something
anybody
against.
Should be able to have kids regardless of a police check.
And they are getting rid of that in Victoria.
Yeah.
And Victoria is the only place in the world that had police checks in place.
Oh, really?
Yes, which I found out the other day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out on a podcast, which is awesome.
Yeah.
All that triggers, just plugging that,
Yeah.
but I'll leave a link below. But yeah, so how interesting is that? The only place in the world. So that's good they've scrapped that. But overall, it wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it was alright.
How are you and Tim feeling about the next transfer? We're feeling hopeful, of course, and I think we're just a bit guarded at this point, and numb, maybe. I don't know. Not numb, but just...
Yeah, just guarded. I
guarded.
think it's natural to feel a bit guarded when you guys have been ever hopeful.
Yeah.
And then something comes along and...
Yeah. We're just taking it day by day and just trying not to overthink it too much, I guess. We haven't really discussed it a whole lot, to be honest, because there's not really much to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hoping this will be it.
Ever hopeful.
Liv, how are you feeling about the upcoming FET?
I'm feeling excited. The kids are excited.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my little anklet thing. And Lil asked me about it last night. She said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's a good luck thing for the next transfer." And she said, are there spirits in this world? And I said, yes, there's spirits. And
That's a very deep
it
question.
was. And she said, oh, well, I didn't think it. I thought it was a myth. And I said, no, there are spirits. It's good spirits and bad spirits. And she said, oh, well, I hope all the good spirits help the baby stay. And so that was very sweet. That was very sweet. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so she's excited.
You've got the most beautiful children.
They come up with random things sometimes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
Liv has got 6-year-old twin girls.
Yes.
And a 5-year-old son. So for 6 years old, that's a very deep question.
Yeah, I don't know where I mean, she spotted it on me and just asked what it was, but yeah, the spirit thing, I wasn't sure where that was coming from, but yeah, no, so she was excited and she gave me a hug and said, I'm really excited. I really hope the baby stays. So this time, so yeah, excited and yeah, hopeful.
Hi guys, I'm interrupting this Q&A because I have realised whilst editing how long it is. So I have split the Q&A into 2 parts. This is the end of part 1 and part 2 I will link below in the description box. I hope you've enjoyed so far. Thanks for watching and sending through all of your questions. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.